and welcome back to my channel. If I look really shiny or greasy, one, I did my skincare routine today, and two, I've been cooking all day. Today was meal prep day for baby Kailah. So yeah, I'm just kind of looking a little rough, but that's okay. We'll work with what we got. I have prepared 3 different options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All of these meals can be cooked in 30 minutes or less, so they are relatively easy in that respect because they're not super time consuming, but they're also easy because they can be prepared, stored, and then frozen, or even stored in the fridge, and then just take them out as needed to reheat. When stored in the freezer, they're good pretty much like indefinitely. If you choose to keep them in the fridge, you should ideally use them within 3 days because I don't know, any food left in the fridge for more than 3 days is gonna start to be a little iffy. You don't wanna give yourself or your baby the SHITS, if you know what I mean. Food poisoning, not fun. All these meals are totally dairy free. When recipes call for milk or butter, I just used almond milk instead of regular milk. And then instead of butter, I actually use vegan basil. It's entirely plant-based, soy-free, dairy-free. And Kailah's father, for those of you who don't know, his ethnicity is 100% Afghani. He was raised Muslim, he is Muslim, and followers of Islam don't eat pork. Basically, my approach in handling Kailah's mixed ethnicity and the associated mixed faiths is I am not going to feed her pork. I would like to educate her in both Catholicism and Islam, so that way when she's old enough to be, you know, of sound body and mind and know everything about both faiths and make an informed decision, she'll be able to choose one day which faith she identifies more with, and regardless of what she chooses, I'll be fully supportive. If that is Islam, I'm sure she'll be grateful that I respected that side of her culture and chose not to feed her pork. But if she does choose Catholicism, and if she wants to start eating pork at that time and onward, then she can if that's what she chooses. So yeah, no dairy or pork in any of these meals, but yeah, I'll just pretty much jump right in and get into it. The containers that I use are these glass containers with rubber lids. This is the, I don't know if you see it, it's the Anchor Hawking brand. I think that's how you pronounce it. I got these from Canadian Tire, but I'm pretty sure the brand can be bought anywhere online, so I'm sure you can buy them whether you're in the States, India, wherever else in the world. Before I get into these, just know that I feed her a fresh serving of fruit with every meal because I try to make sure she gets veggies, meat, carbs, and fruits in every meal. But yeah, the first meal that we have here, this is actually a pomegranate pancake with beef bacon and scrambled eggs. The scrambled eggs I just topped with a tiny bit of the vegan basil and then some salt, pepper, and then everything but the bagel seasoning. I like it on my eggs. She seems to like it too, so yeah. And then the pomegranate seeds in the pancakes are just a really good sneaky way to get in some more antioxidants. Pomegranate seeds are so good for you and they're delicious. And when they're in the pancakes and you bite into a bite of pancake, it almost pops in your mouth like a popping boba. If you've ever had bubble tea or any of those like popping jellies on frozen yogurt. And then this bacon, it looks a lot like pork, but I swear it is actually beef. I'll show you the packaging here. It's Alberta beef. And yeah, it is just beef bacon. It tastes exactly like pork bacon though, in my opinion. I've had pork bacon, so I would know. It just has the same hickory smoke flavor. Turkey bacon's great. It's very lean too. You can get those stuff that's low sodium, but just thought we'd switch it up and try something new with the beef bacon. So yeah, that is option number 1. Some bacon, pancakes, and scrambled eggs. Option number 2. This one is almost like your traditional breakfast platter that you would get at like a diner. It just has some homemade hash browns, those same scrambled eggs, and then the same bacon that I showed you. The hash browns, however, are just diced baby potatoes and yellow onion, and I just toss them in a frying pan with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then breakfast number 3 is some French toast sticks, 2 turkey sausage links, and then scrambled eggs and a bit of hash brown at the bottom. So again, same hash brown and scrambled eggs, but the French toast I made with a splash of almond milk, cinnamon, and vanilla. And when I serve it to her, I'll give her a little tiny drizzle of syrup. And then the turkey sausages are just plain turkey. They're not flavored at all. But anyway, that covers the 3 options for breakfast. Oh, that's my kitty. He's crazy. The first lunch option is some fun sandwich spirals that I've made, and they are tuna egg salad sandwich spirals. This is honestly just a recipe I found online, and I thought it tasted delicious. Kailah's had tuna salad and chicken salad before, but this will be the first time she's had tuna egg salad. Anywho, so how I made these, I essentially just took a brioche bun, I rolled it flat with a little pin thingy, and then I took a scoopful of my egg salad mixture, spread it down, and then just tightly rolled it up, and then I just cut it into pieces, and that is what formed the little spirals. These I just store in the fridge, so I'll have to use these probably as one of the first meals that I give her throughout this next week, because yeah, you shouldn't probably keep egg salad for more than like 3 days. I feel like that's a little bit, might get the toots, if you know what I mean. The next lunch option that I have is one of Kailah's favorites, one of my least favorites to clean up after. That is just some good old spaghetti. This is just regular spaghetti noodles with a ground beef sauce with marinara, and then I just have a little dollop of her vegan basil on top. And then I've also tried adding vegan cheese on top, but I'm not sure if any of y'all have tried vegan cheese. It smells like armpit and it tastes even worse. If any of you guys know a brand or a type, let us know in the comment section down below. Share with everyone, because from what I've heard, it's really hard to find a good one. And the last lunch option I have, I made from scratch, and I'm really proud of because it's delicious. I can't wait to have some myself. This is just some homemade chicken noodle soup, and then that's just some parsley on top. How I made it, essentially putting a little bit of olive oil in a Dutch oven, just one of those big, weird, heavy pots, and then sauteing carrots, celery, and yellow onion, and then adding minced garlic, and then the broth, and then I added thyme, oregano, a little tiny bit of salt, pepper, and then bay leaves. Yeah, that was the last thing. And then once I let that get the vegetables tender, you add in your chicken and then parsley if you want. And then I always serve it with a little bit more parsley and finish it off with some lemon juice. If you guys have never put lemon juice in your chicken noodle soup, you should definitely try it. It just kicks up the flavor more. It gives it a bit of zest, just makes the flavors even more elevated, so I really like it. And then the noodles that are in here are just egg noodles. So you can either cook your egg noodles inside of the broth mixture, or you can just cook them on the side and then toss them in. These egg noodles we actually had as leftovers, so I just thought it would be a good way to make use of them so they don't go to waste. But yeah, we got some homemade chicken noodle soup. The chicken I also baked separately. I just baked it in the oven. I just put 2 chicken breasts seasoned with salt, pepper, and then seasoning salt. But anyway, yeah, those are our 3 lunches. We had the sandwich roll-ups, spaghetti, and chicken noodle soup. Now we're on to dinner. This is her teriyaki chicken rice bowl that I made her. It is just a bed of basmati rice. It has obviously the chicken over here. And then this is a steamed piece of broccolini. I just drizzled a little bit of teriyaki sauce and then sesame seeds as garnish. So it adds a little more texture or whatever, tasty. So yeah, teriyaki chicken rice bowl is the first one. Oh, this one is one of my favorites to eat. I made some for myself too. I kind of meal prepped for the both of us. But this is one of my favorite salmon dishes. This is just some more of that basmati rice that I made. And then I did some steamed asparagus spears. They're super tender. They're fork tender, so they're not super grainy or hard. I'll cut them into little medallions probably when I serve them. And then the fish here, it is just a piece of salmon with the skin taken off. And then I made like a glaze or a rub out of garlic, ginger, lemon juice, olive oil, honey, and thyme. When I put it in the oven, I just topped it with a little lemon slice and some more fresh thyme. And then if you see these little things over here, those are just some crunchy onions, like fried onions. And then last but not least, it smells super delicious. This right here is a steak dinner for baby Kailah. So on the bottom is a bed of pureed garlic mashed potatoes, homemade of course. We also have some honey dill carrots, some steamed green beans, and then a nice juicy steak with some sesame steak sauce from the Sawmill Steakhouse. How I cook all of her food is how I cook my own food. I cooked her steak first in a little bit of avocado oil. Sear it on both sides initially to get like a bit of a crust forming. And then I put in some basil when I would normally use butter. And then I smashed a few cloves of garlic, tossed those in, and then added a few sprigs of fresh thyme, kind of basted it on there. And then I finished it off in the oven until it was pretty much well done. It had a tiny bit of pink in it, but Kailah's pediatrician suggested that she should only have well done meat essentially until she's a little bit older. And then the garlic mashed potatoes, I just used a bit of garlic powder, her vegan basil, a splash of almond milk, and then I whipped them up until they were nice and soft. And then the honey dill carrots, I just steamed the carrots and then I tossed them in honey and fresh dill. So really, really flavorful, really amazing. My mom used to make them for us for dinner when I was younger, and I remember that was like my favorite way to eat carrots. Yeah, those are my 3 options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Aside from her main meals a day, I also give her, or I try to give her 2 good snacks, and then she always has a Cheerio cup or her baby puffs or cookies on the go at all times. I used to give her yogurt a lot. Right now I really am trying to find a good vegan yogurt, but usually her snacks will just consist of more fruit. I gave her a beef samosa today because she really likes Indian food. I used to feed it to her a lot when I was still with her father. She loves stuff with spices, big flavors. You know that stereotype about white people food and how it's unseasoned? I try to make her food as flavorful and as extravagant as I like it because she's kind of a snob, I feel like. If I give her something that's not super flavorful but still like well seasoned, she kind of just looks at me like, what the hell is this lady? Like, and she'll literally go like this with her arm and throw her food off her tray like a windshield wiper. She's a savage. Even like if it's good food, she'll do that if she's just not in the mood or if she's tired. Thank you guys so much for watching today's easy toddler meals. I hope you enjoyed and learned something or maybe got a few ideas. Like I mentioned, I will include the link to the containers down below, and then I'll also link the recipe that I used for the chicken noodle soup and the tuna egg salad. But everything else is just kind of stuff that is common sense or doesn't really have a recipe. I sincerely apologize for the late posts and for not posting last week. I had midterms, which honestly I totally forgot about, and I had to pretty much struggle bust my way to quickly cram and do these exams. But good news is there is light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not doing summer classes, so when my spring classes end at the end of June here, I will have nothing to do but film, edit, and upload, and hopefully enjoy my summer now that we are starting to reopen. So do expect some consistent content coming up here very soon. Honestly got 1 comment asking for my skincare routine, and that's all the convincing I needed. So I will be doing a current skincare routine video very soon. I'm gonna try to upload some more lifestyle content, not just mommy content, but don't worry, there's gonna be lots of baby K vlogs as per usual. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified every time we post a brand new video.